Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Turnbuckle Tabloid cutting a promo. Cutting a promo, ladies and gentlemen, this week. Just digging in on what's been going on in the past couple of days, this past week or so of wrestling. And I want to have a discussion with you guys about what's going on, what's happening, not only with the happenings with Swerve, but also the champions in general that's across the board in the wrestling universe. Follow, subscribe, be a part of the vibe of Turbo Tabloid on all the social media outlets. Make sure you check us out on all the streams, the podcasting outlets as well. Make sure you check us out everywhere. Like, subscribe, be a part of the vibe, as I mentioned, and do yourself a favor. Just click on the notification because I will be jumping on from time to time to get your thoughts, your insights, and set scheduling over here could be erratic, but we're working on it. We're working on it. So this week's Cutting a Promo, like I mentioned, I just wanted to get your thoughts about what's happening in a whole when it comes to the champions that are the headliners of the companies these days. So there was many who discussed the booking of Cody these days, and many are saying that he's already lost his luster. He's the shine is taken off of him ever since he's won the championship. There's no drive. There's no feel of a need for him to be in a higher level anymore. Where do we go from here? What happens from here on out? And to their booking right now, it's a slow process because you want to feed them some contenders, but at the same time, what are we doing with the contenders afterwards? Does it elevate them? Does it bring some notoriety to them? Does any matches with Cody make them any better? It's a thought that goes out there, and many people are not sure. We just saw the match with Cody and AJ Styles, which I thought was probably one of the best matches that the WWE's had wrestling wise all year. It had its depths, it had its ebb and flow. It was a compliment to what the lost art of wrestling was for WWE in the past few years. They've slowly but surely began to put that together, where they're piecing together whether or not can we mix entertainment with wrestling as well. What are we doing? How are we getting this together? How are we going to push the not only the talent around Cody, but Cody himself? It could be a daunting task. That I can easily say is not easy to do. At the same time, we're looking at what goes on. What's the true story here? The true story is that we have to get the bloodline back in here. Do we? The true story is, do we get a returning Rock to dethrone Cody? Do we get a returning Roman who can do the same? Or are we looking at a new face or a new heel in the company that's going to be able to hoist that responsibility from him when the time comes? Right now, we like I said, we're looking at a situation. So yes, it's going to be a practice to where we have to put the mixes in with him. Who is it going to be in line to help tote that line with him? Right now, they have the stipulation, the match is building up between he and Logan Paul, champion versus champion. Both titles on the line. We shall see, because WWE usually changes their mind the last minute anyway. When it comes to that, you just have champion versus champion, not title for title. We don't see that. My presumption early on with this was like, who is this for? Why are we doing this match now? Why is this necessary? And I've said that with Logan Paul, he's the guy that draws eyes to the product. And so far, that's what's been happening, especially with the social media presence that he has. I mentioned earlier when we were at the bar watching the WrestleMania and such, many people didn't know that Logan Paul was into wrestling. And when they were watching the event, they were surprised at how good he was. And this is what the company's looking to do from here on out with the Logan Pauls. Jason on Instagram, he says the problem is that they don't have a story for him, and it looks like and then it looks like that, and it looks like it's gonna be shit. Well, yeah, and like I said, this is just fodder, and that's the only word that I can use for it right now. It's just fodder. That's what it's this whole Cody thing is, and I can say the same for the Logan Paul stuff as well. It's just fodder for now. If it's title for title, I do not see WWE having Cody or Logan become a double champ. It's not happening. I kind of think that a lot of this stuff is very much tied to the video game that they're still pushing and promoting. I still believe that there's some kind of, because a lot of times you'll do that cross promotion and it's like, oh look, you could do the same thing here. And I kind of feel that that's what's happening with that as well. By the way, if it does become a title for title match, be surprised, or don't be surprised that, yeah, no one's dropping the belts. In fact, I believe that this is where the debut of the Wyatt Six, Uncle Howdy, returns. I think this is where it happens. They were already tied to SmackDown before Bray passed away, so I don't see them leaving anytime soon. I believe that that's where they're going to be doing their haunting, their spookiness, as it may be. But I don't see them moving away from that anytime soon. I believe that they'll be there, and this match will end with both men probably knocked out middle of the ring some way, somehow, and Uncle Howdy is pretty much standing alone in the ring, taking it over. So that's just my thoughts about that. At the same time, I would transition over to AEW, on which basically the title was, which was misleading. It's not misleading, but it was kind of like a grab for you guys, which was the what's happening to Swerve. So I know a lot of people have had their thoughts about the booking of Swerve, what's happening over there. Is he in the same storyline, kind of the same setting as Cody, where we don't know what's happening with him progressively? Are we just putting him in these matches until we get the big one at All In when we're in Wembley for the match between he and Ospreay? Is that what we're setting up? And I kind of believe that that's what it's leading up to, but at the same time, I'm still with the sense that he's been overshadowed by the Will Ospreays, the Okadas, the Mercedes Monets. He won that title when all these big names was coming in, and it looks like the focus has been more on that than it has been for him. I mentioned it earlier in the previous episode. I thought they did him dirty by not giving him his flowers on that Dynamite after he won the title. I believe that what they did to him was they just basically put him out there in a match, did basically nothing for him, and it didn't send any ripples or anything that even resembles the crowning of the people's champ, because that's what he pretty much is. Take away all the stuff what you say about the whole African American stuff, whatever the case may be. Take that away. Still, at the end of the day, he was the people's champ. And now you have him in this storyline to where the embassy is turned on him, and now it's because he thought he was bigger than the crew and such. Some may say that maybe they gave Swerve the title too soon. I'm in that same party. I believe so. I thought the chase would have been much better for him now. Maybe getting it at Double or Nothing would have been more sensical. In fact, there could have been a tie-in with that with that show, Joe versus Swerve, would have been make a 2 out of 3 falls, Double or Nothing. You get it, something like that. Maybe that would have worked. I'm thinking maybe we could have seen more of a progression in getting that hype train behind him. Because once again, you still want to get your new signees in and get them over. And you tied them too close together. Should he have won it? Sure. Jason mentions earlier they're gonna pull a WWE sign Brock and let him take the title off another black guy. You know, that's that would not be far-fetched, honestly. It's funny that would happen, but that would also mean that Tony Khan would go against everything he believes in when it comes to his stance on morality. You know, he didn't want to bring in Hogan for a reason, right? So no, it wouldn't be far fetched, and I actually would think it would be hilarious if they did do that. But I don't see it happening. But who knows? It's wrestling. It happens in wrestling, right? I really believe that they could have really pushed it. You could have even had the embassy turn on him without the title and make him say that, you know, that make him feel that he's bigger than the group. I honestly believe that was something that they could have worked with and tied together. I believe that there was something that could have done with he and getting over more. They could have been more of that big build there. But at the same time, I guess they wanted to put the title on him just to get that pop, and you got it. That you did. You get the pop, but at the same time, what did it do? You basically deflated him at the same time. I'm just not very keen on what's the next work for him now. You know, he had the match against Brian Cage, but then, you know, now the Christian Cage tie-in is there, and you're putting up a hodgepodge of so much angles in one run. It just doesn't make any sense for uh, uh, consistency. It doesn't seem like it ties along much better with doing what you want to do with the champ. You're putting, you know, you're putting too much on the mixture when you could just streamline it, keep it focused, keep it one way going. You could have had Joe keep the belt for just a little while longer. Double or Nothing was right around the corner. You could have had him there. It was right. It was right in your pocket where you could have had that bigger match. You could have had the embassy do what they did. You could have had the mixture go on. But right now, you gave him the title, and you know, I get it. He's the face now, and you know, you want to get that 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 feeling of putting a title on somebody that could fight from underneath and such. But why? Why did you have to do it with him having the title now if you're basically showcasing your new talents more? You know, the other night we just saw Mercedes Monet come back, have a contract signing with Willow Knight, and hey, smart you guys. Thank you for your big star who came in injured. The first act you did with her was put her through a table. Awesome, great job, guys. Awesome. Can't say enough about you guys and your booking there. Fantastic. Nonetheless, I still feel that there's something to be salvaged with the Swerve situation. He's walking out of Double or Nothing with that title. He's not losing it. Is there going to be a full run on sense of calamity going on? Sure. But I also feel as though that he and Christian can have a great match. Some people were saying, you know, what was the tie-in? Well, the tie-in was that they lost their match in All In Wembley. They lost that match, and Christian blames him for it. So I can see where that storyline was able to mesh. But other than that, you're not really doing Swerve any justice right now. And either the two right now, they're pretty much, I'm talking about champions wise, they're pretty much neck and neck when it comes to the floundering of said title reign. Still early though. Like I said, for both, still early. You still want to get them in a mix, still want to get them in different angles, different mixes and such. Still early, but they're gonna have to do something soon. I think maybe with Cody, if the Wyatt Six gets involved, that's something to play with there. Um, you could entertain with that. You could dance with that for a little bit. I think with Swerve after Christian Cage, he still got 2 months before we can get the all in build up set. And at the same time, both promotions are looking at a lot of injuries, man. We just recently they just announced that WWE that Ivar is out as well. WWE is going through a mass unit as well, so it seems like the AEW and WWE are in a pickle when it comes to how they're going to be setting up their booking from here on out with their talent. I still believe that if you can get those one or two or maybe three individuals that haven't been utilized as much, you could bring them up to the forefront and get them the spotlight. You'll get them over. You'll find out that you'll actually be able to pull out some bangers here and there. So, the locker room better be on ready. Gotta be on prep time. Always be on your post, guys. Always be on your post. So that was just my thoughts about what's going on with the title reigns of the two heads of the company this day and age. I'm gonna clip this one for today. Much more to come down. I have a big episode this weekend for the podcast. Make sure you guys download and subscribe to all the podcasting outlets that's available to get the whole essence of what Turnbuckle Tabloid is. Get the whole je ne sais quoi of the episodes. So episode will be out soon as well. And I'm gonna have a big conversation next week for the podcast as well. I'm gonna live stream that as well. So gonna make sure that you guys are alerted and checked in for that. So other than that, guys, as always, as I said, don't go anywhere, stick around, much to talk about, and check you guys in a sec.